and the Yankees, and we are pleased to welcome in a man who'll be in the booth for that game for TBS, our friend, Mr. Ron Darling. Let's start this by saying it's a bullpen game for the A's, obviously. You were a starting pitcher. I don't know how you feel about these kinds of games. Do you like this decision, and is this the future of baseball, the immediate future of baseball?
Well, if I were a player and I still was a starting pitcher, I would bull my neck and be team first. I would quietly then go home and cry my eyes out for a half hour. But as far as an announcer is concerned, I think the Oakland A's are doing exactly what they should be doing. If you look at them, look at the game backwards. You have Blake Trinan, who can go 2, Jay Reese-Familia, who can go 2, Fernando Rodney, all veterans who can go an inning. That brings you to 5. So the bullpenning is going to have to somehow see if they can get through 4 innings. That's not a lot to ask. The thing I find hard to ask, though, is you're going to have so many pitchers in the game, someone's going to flub it up, wouldn't you think? You don't think everyone's going to be perfect.
Well, let's go to a guy who actually knows something about starting pitching, Luis Severino, who's going to start for the Yankees. Do you think last year's terrible, brief start is still in his head? Ron, you've been in this position. How quickly can you forget it? Do you think he has?
Well, I think he's forgotten it because if you remember, after that wild card game, he pitched pretty well in the post against Cleveland and against the Houston Astros twice. So I think he's forgotten that. But I think more importantly, what Severino brings is he brings stuff. Talent. And I think sometimes you'd like to have maybe more experience, but talent plays at this time of year. And the other thing that I don't think a lot of people have given a lot of thought to is that with Severino as opposed to Tanaka and Happ, you know right away if he's good or he's not good. And that'll make it an easier decision for Boone. Think about Happ and Tanaka, veteran professional pitchers that even if they start out a little slow, they usually give you a 6 or maybe even a 7-inning good effort, 2-3 runs. With Severino, you will know within the first, 15 or 20 pitches if he's going to be good tonight. And if he is good in that first thing, strikes out a couple, they're hoping he has the kind of start he did in Boston. On September 20th, he went 7 innings, struck out 10, only gave up a run. That was a better indication how he can pitch.
Well, of course, the winner of this game gets the Red Sox. And I think we got to start with Chris Sale and the lack of velocity in his last regular season start, Ron. They said it was mechanics, not injury. When you look at that, does that sound right to you?
I find it hard to believe that, guys. I know that they're saying all the right things, and I understand what they're saying, whether it comes from Chris or it comes from Alex Cora or the Boston organization. But when you look at it from afar, a young man who's been on the disabled list a couple of times, when he should be ratcheting up his innings, velocity, stuff in September to get ready for the most important games, it was going backwards. So I'm not saying that he won't be able to pull it together. He's one of the great pitchers of his generation, but I do have, a wary eye about it.
We will get you out of here on this. We'll go to the National League with the Braves and the Dodgers. They start tomorrow. Clayton Kershaw not starting Game 1 in order to get to full rest. Will that have an impact on the series in your mind?
Well, I don't know if it'll have an impact on the series. I think Ryu's pitched pretty well. It just does seem alarming when your best pitcher doesn't start Game 1. But I can understand it in this way, is that if he pitches Game 2, that means he's your Game 5 starter if it goes that deep. If it doesn't go that deep, then he's your Game 1 starter for the NLCS. So in that way, it makes a lot of sense to go Ryu first. So we'll see what happens, but I think it's going to be more of a battle than most people think.
This is a very good treat for us. Thank you, Ron, for being on. Thank you.
Guys, you're the best. Take care. See you later.
Tonight's wild card game starts at 8 p.m. on TBS. Let's take one last break, but still to come. You won't believe the team that Des Bryant is now interested in.
Are you still listening to Des Bryant? That's a futile exercise. And are the Warriors going to win another championship? We'll tell you what NBA general managers predict.
How could they possibly not predict that they would win? They've won 3 out of 4.
Maybe they could think Boston will
They have the same cast. No.
With Grand Marnier, you'll dare to put a twist on the traditional. Grand Marnier, a visionary blend of fine cognac and bitter orange liqueur. Live grand.